All right. Speaking of wording, Justin, it's time yet again, gang, for another segment of Anime Out of Context.
One of these days, I will have a theme song made.
All I recommend to you, Justin, is go and watch a bunch of different anime openings, and you will be inspired. I shit you not.
I already have some ideas.
Okay, that's cool.
I already have some ideas. Yeah,
That's cool. Keep those cards close to your chest. Yep. So if you've never been here for this, if this is your first time checking out Anime Out of Context, what I have done is I have found a particular anime scene from some show, and I just pick a scene that I find to be particularly absurd and unusual, and I transcribe it, and I assign roles to Justin and we do a cold read of it. Now, I usually have the advantage because I have watched it, and I understand how it's supposed to be done. Justin has no idea. Justin does not watch anime. Justin has no idea what any of this stuff is most of the time. And really what I'm doing is I'm pimping Justin out. I'm putting him in a position where he has to read something. Usually he's the character I try to make the expert, that his character knows everything and he has to deliver it like a real boss.
Like a real
boss. And it's really entertaining to me. So if you would like to participate in this, if you would like to be like, hey, I want to give Doug a taste of his own medicine, and you want to participate in this, find your anime scene. All you got to do is like send us a message on our socials or hit us up in our Discord. I have a special channel set aside for Anime Out of Context. All you got to do is send us a link to your transcription. Definitely give the credit to name of the episode number, things like that. And, assign us our roles and things like that to make sure we know what to do. Give us minimal direction, and then we'll be off to the races. So, we're welcome to it. This week,
we would love to have some submissions from you.
I hear some people chatting about what they have in store.
It's out there.
And listen, I understand. Okay, typing this shit out. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but the payoff is worth it.
Just use speech to text, guys. It's so easy.
I don't. I do it the hard way. But whatever. All right. So this week was actually inspired by Chef Mike. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you should. He's an amazing human. He tweeted out the other day that he goes, "Man, Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. This movie's awesome." And I laughed and I wrote a tweet back to him because this movie is insane. And I recently rewatched it because I remember loving this. This movie came out in 96, I believe.
Okay.
I remember watching it back then being like, this is so fucking cool. Probably because I hadn't seen much anime in my time. This is a bonkers. I shouldn't say it's bonkers, but it's a wild movie. All right. And it's animated. The voice acting is a little rough around the edges. But this is a particular scene. This happens towards the end of the movie. And Justin, I'm actually going to challenge you to play two roles in this.
All right.
Justin, are you familiar with Street Fighter 2 at all?
I am. I'm familiar with the video game
cool.
Series, and I'm familiar with the live action. I cannot say I'm familiar with any of the animated versions of it.
All right. So you are going to be playing Guile, and you're also going to be playing Bison.
All right.
I think there's like two moments where you have to, talk to yourself. Yeah. Right, so cool. This should be good.
I'm putting on. I'm going to do voices for this one too.
Oh, great! Here we go.
We're going to change it up a little bit. They're not going to be spoiler alert. Not going to be anything that you've heard these characters sound like before. Unlike more than likely. You're making a creative choice, right? That's all we need to know. All right, here we go. A United States helicopter descends from the clouds onto an isolated home in the mountains. Guile leaps from the helicopter and sprints towards Ryu.
Are you Ken Masters' friend Ryu?
That depends. Who wants to know?
Captain Guile, operative of the United States Air Force.
Yeah, I'm Ryu. What's this about Ken?
Your friend's been abducted by an organization called Shadow Law.
What do you mean abducted?
And their ultimate plan is to turn him into a terrorist.
That's ridiculous. There's no way he could ever become a criminal.
They're subjecting him to a form of mind control.
Ken is not a terrorist. A large aircraft suddenly appears, engines roaring. It quickly approaches and begins to land on the mountaintop.
Shit! Bison had me tailed.
What the? As the engines on the aircraft begin to power off, a ladder extends down and a figure in a cloak steps out into the light. It is Ken, and he has red tinted eyes. He's been mind controlled. Ken! Ken marches down the ladder. Bison appears out of the doorway and stares at Guile and Ryu.
Well, look what crawled out of the woodwork. Why, Captain Guile, it's been such a long time. Finally, the stars of the show are assembled on the stage. Take a bow.
Stinking bastard! What have you done to Ken, huh?
Well. Ryu, I was looking for you, but you're a difficult man to find. So I recruited Ken in your absence.
Ken stares fiercely at Ryu, his eyes full of hate. Ryu runs at Bison. Let him go now! Ken's body stiffens and he removes his cape in a super cool flourish. He jumps and kicks Ryu right in the face, knocking him on his back. What have they done to you? Ken! Ken gives a hateful stare to Ryu.
Nice job, huh? Your friend is now the perfect exterminator for my exterminator, thanks to my subtle influence. Beating him isn't going to be so easy.
No, don't! Ken! Resist it! Ken continues to stare intensely.
Save your energy, boy. You're going to need all you can muster on the battlefield, and your utter annihilation is the sole mission in his life.
No way! He's my friend!
Bison, I'm gonna rip your lousy heart out, you filthy bastard. Afraid I don't have one. You know, Guile, evil is a good career choice. It has a lot to offer.
And scene.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's
oh my. I think there are some wonderful parts in this. What is the thanks to my subtle influence. Nothing about this is subtle. I have a spoiler alert, Bison. Nothing about this is subtle.
Well, it's so funny because like he has psychic powers, but they refer to them as psycho powers in the movie.
Okay.
And
I like to attribute that to a typo in the writer, like a writer's assistant did not like, because psycho it's not an incorrect word. It's the wrong word for that, but it's not misspelled. So I like to think that a writer's assistant just got lazy, or they were super drunk,
or it was a bad translation from Japanese to English. You know,
that could be too. Yeah, I'd like to blame the writer's assistant, but that's
there you
me.
go. Yeah. This movie's crazy because the premise is that Bison is sending out these cyborgs to have them analyze street fighters around the world.
Okay.
And so they will scan them and somehow spit out a number that tells them how powerful they are. And there was another scene I almost did in here too, where Bison's talking with his scientist. Yeah. Scientist is like, do you really believe this Ryu exists? I mean, we've analyzed all the other street fighters and no one's been able to get over 2,000. He's at 3,600. I mean, is that even possible?
Oh, the numbers again. What is with the numbers, man? Yeah. Why did they do this?
It was absolutely insane. And it's just the idea that they took everything from the game so fucking literal in this show. And they're just like, we've got to find street fighters. We've got to find them and we've got to recruit them into shadow law. It's just got to get them to join the organization and do bad things.
I also like Captain Guile, operative of the United States Air Force.
I also think it's interesting because he goes, your friend's been abducted by an organization called Shadow Law. He's like, what do you mean abducted? He's like, and their plan is to turn him into a terrorist.
Right.
Hilarious.
Like it's such a...
But Ryu's response is like, that's ridiculous. There's no way he could ever become a criminal, which seems like it doesn't necessarily respond to him being a terrorist.
Right.
The guy's like, he's getting mind controlled. He's like, Ken is not a terrorist. It's like, I feel like you missed.
Right. No, I hear you, but you understand how mind control works, right?
Like, at first he's like, they're talking to a terrorist. He's like, he won't be a criminal. He's like, no. I mean, terrorist. But he doesn't respond to that. Like, he responds to that line like a beat later. He's like, Ken is not a terrorist. It's so dumb.
Oh my God.
My favorite thing, and this is why I tweeted to Chef Mike, is he's like, this movie's so awesome. And I like, you mean the movie that ends with M. Bison driving an 18-wheel truck straight at Ryu, who then is jumping in the air to punch the girl of the semi, all set to Korn's Blind, and that's how the credits roll. Like Ricey's going to punch.
But you don't even see it resolve.
No, it's, are you ready? And it freeze frame as he's about to punch the truck because here's the thing, spoiler alert. Ken and Ryu defeat Bison, right? They do their Hadoukens at the same time. They hit him, and he just like vanishes. They're like, we beat him. And then this is in fucking Japan or some shit. I don't even know where they are. Then they go back. I assume they're back in the U.S. And Ken and Ryu, they punch fists, and they're like, see you later, bro. And Ryu's walking away down the road, and out of nowhere comes this fucking semi. And who's driving it? It's fucking M. Bison. He's like, Bison! Freeze frame.
Right.
And then Korn plays.
To the fact that Ryu's work is never done.
Yeah. And then Korn plays. It's like, what? This is such a 90s, like.
What is this? Yeah.
What is happening? It is bonkers.
I really.
You can watch it on Amazon Prime. It's available.
Great.
Yeah.
I really wish that my biggest wish is that someone would take these that we do and not necessarily even animate them, but illustrate them.
Or dub them over the actual film.
Exactly. That would be, I would be endlessly indebted to the person who took the time to do that with just do something with these, because I just think, Doug, our voice acting needs to be seen against the actual.
Sure does.
Footage. I think, you know how we were talking about having a midlife crisis and what we want to do next with our lives. I feel like this is where it's at. I feel like this is it. We found the answer.
This is it. This is what we do. Yeah. Yeah.
We've got our answer.
Well, once again, if you want to contribute to this, hit us up on our social medias, and all you got to do is just, you got to type this out. That is the challenge, all right? You got to do it. You got to type it out like a script, and just, give us the stage directions and everything like that. Because I look forward to getting a script to something that I don't know, and being like, having us both be like, okay, what the fuck do you think is happening? Because I can give you context to this. But if you give me something I haven't seen, I won't know the context, and I think it'll be more fun for us to try and fucking figure that out. Because
that will be when this segment has reached its ultimate form. That will be it.
And listen, gang, if you haven't watched anime before, anime is weird. So odds are we won't know the context. So which will make it extra fun. So extra fun. Woo! Well, this was fun,
man.
Good stuff. Thank you for being a good sport about this. It's quickly
becoming one of my favorite segments.